Ladies and gentlemen, everything we dream of achieving in life, success, wealth, recognition, influence, starts not with money in the pocket, with the mindset that governs our actions. Before any great fortune was built, before any empire was created, it began in the invisible place of thought. Truth is, wealth is not first about how much you have, it is about how much you think, how much you believe, how much discipline you cultivate in your daily life. If the soil of the mind is fertile, the seeds of opportunity will always grow. Many people chase money without first building the inner foundation to sustain it. That is why, even when they succeed temporarily, they lose it just as quickly. But those who take time to shape their thoughts, to train their habits, to discipline their emotions, eventually become magnets for opportunities. They carry with them an energy that draws success closer every single day. A wealthy mindset is not about greed. It is about clarity. It is the ability to see possibilities where others see problems, to remain calm in storms where others panic, and to keep moving forward when others are paralyzed by fear. The mind is like a compass directing where your life will go. If your thinking is small, your life will remain small, even if by chance you receive a fortune. But if your thinking is expansive, resilient, and courageous, no setback will be permanent, and no limitation will stop you. Difference between those who live in scarcity and those who live in abundance lies in what they repeatedly tell themselves every morning. One says, I can't. The other says, I must. And that simple difference opens two completely different destinies. Reshaping your mindset begins with discipline. How you spend your mornings, how you prioritize your time, how you react to failure. These daily decisions slowly construct the architecture of wealth. If you allow laziness, excuses, and negativity to control your mind, then opportunities will slip through your fingers. But if you fill your thoughts with determination, learning, and gratitude, you will begin to notice that life itself starts opening new doors. Think of wealth not as something external, as something internal that multiplies outward. The one who values time, who values growth, who values persistence, eventually finds money chasing them instead of the other way around. The richest soil is not outside, it is inside. The strongest treasure is not in banks, it is in the mind that knows how to create again and again, even if everything is lost. So, before you ask how to make money, ask how to make your mind strong, your vision clear, and your habits unbreakable. Because when the mind is ready, wealth is inevitable. The world we live in today is not the same world we lived in yesterday, and tomorrow it will not be the same world we know today. Change has become the new constant, and the pace of that change is faster than ever before in human history. In such a world, the ability to continuously learn, unlearn, and adapt is the most valuable asset a person can possess. It is not money, not even connections, that sustain long-term wealth and success. It is knowledge, and more importantly, the willingness to keep evolving with time. Those who stop learning, who rely only on what they once knew, slowly become irrelevant in a rapidly advancing society. Skills that were powerful 10 years ago may already be obsolete. Opportunities that once existed may never return. Technology, business models, careers, and industries are all shifting like tides, and only those who can ride those tides survive. To stand still is to move backwards. The secret to becoming truly valuable is to position yourself as someone who can grow with the changes instead of being crushed by them. The path to adaptability begins with humility. Many people fail to grow not because they lack intelligence, but because they believe they already know enough. The arrogance of thinking you have arrived is the beginning of decline. The mind must remain a student even when it is an expert. A true learner looks at every day as an opportunity to sharpen their tools, deepen their understanding, and acquire new skills that prepare them for tomorrow. This is why some of the wealthiest people in the world dedicate significant time daily to reading, observing, and studying. They do not stop learning once they become successful. Instead, success increases their hunger for knowledge. Adaptability also requires courage, because learning is not only about gaining new knowledge, it is about unlearning old patterns. The most dangerous barrier to growth is clinging to the past, believing that what worked before will always work again. History is filled with companies, leaders, and individuals who fell from greatness because they refused to adjust when the environment changed. They held tightly to the methods of yesterday while the world moved forward without them. To truly stay valuable, one must be willing to release what no longer serves them, even if it once brought them success. Continuous learning should not be seen as a burden, but as an investment in the future self. Every skill you acquire, every book you read, every mentor you learn from, every experience you reflect on adds layers of value to who you are. Think of your mind as a bank account. Each piece of knowledge is a deposit, and over time it compounds. Just as money compounds with interest, so does wisdom. The more you invest in it, the more powerful it becomes, and the more doors it opens. Adaptability goes beyond individual growth. It is also the secret to thriving in relationships, business, and society. When you are adaptable, you become easier to work with, more reliable in uncertain times, and more resourceful in solving problems. People want to be around those who can adjust, who can bring solutions when circumstances change. Employers, investors, and partners naturally gravitate toward individuals who are not rigid but flexible, not stubborn but creative. This flexibility becomes a form of invisible wealth because it continuously attracts opportunities. Another important aspect of adaptability is emotional learning. Knowledge alone is not enough. The ability to manage emotions in times of uncertainty is equally critical. When change strikes, many people panic, resist, or give up. Those who train their minds to embrace uncertainty instead of fearing it are the ones who rise. Learning to remain calm, to think clearly under pressure, and to make decisions even in incomplete conditions makes you stand out in environments where others freeze. Emotional adaptability transforms chaos into opportunity. Continuous learning in the modern world also demands curiosity about technology. The future belongs to those who understand the tools shaping it. Artificial intelligence, digital platforms, renewable energy, global connectivity. These are not distant concepts, but everyday realities that influence how value is created. Those who ignore them will be left behind, while those who embrace them will find endless ways to multiply their wealth and impact. Staying updated with such knowledge ensures that you remain relevant and irreplaceable. The truth is, adaptability is not only about survival, it is about leadership. The ones who learn faster, adapt quicker, and implement earlier naturally become leaders in their fields. They set the trends while others follow. They recognize opportunities long before the masses notice them. Their value grows not because they are lucky, but because they are prepared when opportunity arrives. As the saying goes, luck favors the prepared mind. Practical steps toward continuous learning and adaptability begin with daily habits. Dedicate time each day to reading, even if only a few pages. Expose yourself to new ideas, not just those that agree with you, but also those that challenge you. Seek mentors and conversations with people who think differently, because they expand your perspective. Reflect on your experiences and extract lessons from both failures and successes. Develop new skills intentionally, especially those that align with the future of your field. These small, consistent actions over time build an adaptable and resourceful mind. At the same time, cultivate the courage to experiment. Learning is not complete until it is applied. Try new methods, take on new challenges, and step into environments that stretch you. Some experiments will fail, but every failure will teach you something that success cannot. Adaptability is built not in theory, but in practice, through real experiences that shape resilience and creativity. In the journey of becoming valuable and wealthy, continuous learning and adaptability are the twin engines that keep you moving forward. Without them, wealth gained today may vanish tomorrow. With them, even if you lose everything, you can rebuild again, stronger and faster than before. Knowledge is the one treasure that cannot be stolen. Adaptability is the one skill that ensures survival in every storm. Together, they form an unstoppable combination that guarantees long-term growth. The world will keep changing. The question is, will you change with it or be left behind by it? Those who embrace learning as a lifelong mission, who see adaptability not as an option but as a necessity, will never stop growing in value. And in a society that rewards value with wealth, they will always rise to the top. Skills are the true currency of wealth, the foundation upon which long-term success is built. Money may come and go, markets may rise and fall, but the individual who has sharpened rare, practical, and impactful skills carries with them an asset that cannot easily be taken away. If you want to become more valuable, if you want to rise above the ordinary, you must commit yourself to building skills that matter, skills that solve problems, create opportunities, and open doors that talent alone cannot. The world does not simply reward effort, it rewards effectiveness. Effort without skill is wasted energy. Skill combined with effort creates results that others are willing to pay for, respect, and follow. That is why some people can work for decades and remain unnoticed, while others who master specific skills become highly sought after and compensated accordingly. The truth is, your value in society is not measured by the hours you put in, but by the impact those hours produce. And impact always comes from the right skills. There are two types of skills you must focus on: hard skills and soft skills. Hard skills are technical, measurable, and directly tied to a specific craft or profession. Coding, design, engineering, accounting, marketing, and medicine are examples. These skills make you competent in a field and give you the ability to produce tangible results. Soft skills, however, are equally, if not more, important. Communication, leadership, emotional intelligence, creativity, negotiation, and problem solving are what make your hard skills shine. Without soft skills, technical mastery remains underutilized because you cannot influence, inspire, or collaborate effectively with others. The combination of both is what creates unstoppable value. To build unshakable skills, one must first recognize the difference between activity and mastery. Many people repeat the same task daily without actually improving. True skill building requires intentional practice, the willingness to challenge yourself, the discipline to refine details over time. The best athletes, artists, and entrepreneurs do not become excellent by accident. They deliberately train with intensity, seek feedback, correct mistakes, and push beyond their comfort zones. Their advantage is not just natural talent, it is their relentless pursuit of mastery. A crucial mindset to adopt is that skills compound. Just like money grows with interest, skills multiply when combined. For example, being good at programming is valuable. Being good at programming and communication makes you extraordinary. Being skilled in sales is powerful. Adding negotiation and emotional intelligence makes you unstoppable. When you stack complementary skills together, you become rare, and rarity always commands higher value. The most successful individuals are not just specialists in one area, they are masters at combining different abilities into a unique package that few can compete with. The world also rewards problem solvers. Skills are not for decoration, they are for application. Every valuable person in history is remembered not for what they knew, for what they did with what they knew. The ability to fix problems, to bring clarity where there is confusion, to design solutions where others see obstacles. That is what separates the valuable from the replaceable. If you want to be wealthy, focus on developing skills that solve real problems. Learn what industries, communities, and individuals struggle with, and then train yourself to be the one who can bring solutions. That is how wealth flows toward you. Another truth about skill building is that it requires patience. Too many people want instant results. They dabble in one skill for a few months, then abandon it when success does not come quickly. But mastery requires years of persistence. Think of a doctor who studies for nearly a decade before fully practicing, or an athlete who trains for years before competing on the world stage. Every skill worth having takes time, repetition, and endurance. If you cannot endure the long process of practice, you cannot enjoy the long rewards of mastery. The digital age has also redefined which skills hold the highest value. Today, technology, creativity, and adaptability stand at the center. Skills like coding, data analysis, artificial intelligence, digital marketing, and design are in high demand. But alongside them, the ability to communicate across cultures, to lead diverse teams, to think critically, and to innovate creatively are equally essential. The future belongs not only to those who know how to use tools, but to those who know how to think differently with those tools. Building unshakable skills also means being a lifelong learner. Skills must be maintained and updated, just like machines require servicing. What was valuable yesterday may be outdated tomorrow. If you learned one software today, a better version may replace it next year. The only way to remain valuable is to stay current, stay curious, and stay committed to growth. Those who stop learning soon discover that their once valuable skills are no longer relevant. Those who keep learning remain ahead of the curve. Practical steps towards skill mastery begin with focus. Choose a skill that aligns with your passion, strengths, and market demand. Then immerse yourself in it. Read books, take courses, watch tutorials, seek mentors, and most importantly, practice relentlessly. Do not just consume information, apply it daily. Next, seek feedback. Others can often see what you cannot, and constructive criticism is one of the fastest ways to grow. Embrace mistakes because each mistake reveals a weakness to be strengthened. And finally, be consistent. Even 15 minutes of daily improvement compounds into mastery over time. But beyond personal gain, building skills has a larger purpose. It equips you to serve others. The more skilled you become, the more problems you can solve, the more lives you can impact, and the more value you create for society. Wealth is simply a reflection of the value you provide. If you want more wealth, become more skilled at helping others achieve their goals, solve their pains, and fulfill their needs. The world pays generously for those who make life easier, better, or more inspiring. Unshakable skills also bring something money cannot buy: confidence. When you know you are equipped to handle challenges, fear loses its grip. When you trust your ability to create, you stop worrying about losing what you have because you know you can rebuild. Confidence rooted in skill is the most powerful armor against uncertainty. No matter how unstable the economy, no matter how fierce the competition, the individual with strong skills always finds a way to rise. In the end, wealth without skill is fragile. Skill without wealth is still powerful. Money can vanish, but skills stay with you wherever you go. They are portable wealth, invisible treasures, and permanent assets that appreciate with time. If you want to be more valuable, do not chase titles or applause. Chase mastery. If you want to be wealthy, do not chase money. Chase skills that make money chase you. Because in every era, in every nation, in every industry, it is always the skilled who rise, the skilled who lead, and the skilled who endure. Wealth in its truest form is rarely built in isolation. Behind every great success story lies a network of people who contributed, supported, guided, or partnered along the way. No matter how skilled or intelligent a person may be, their growth will always remain limited if they try to walk alone. Relationships and networking are multipliers of value. They extend your reach, broaden your opportunities, bring resources you could never access on your own. Think of networking not as collecting contacts, but as cultivating connections. A name on your phone means little unless there is trust, respect, and genuine value flowing between you and that individual. Real networking is not about taking, it is about giving. It is about showing interest in others, adding value to their lives, and building a foundation of authenticity. Over time, those investments in people return in the form of opportunities, partnerships, knowledge, and even wealth. Relationships create doors that skills alone cannot open. A talented person may remain unnoticed without the right exposure, but a person who builds strong networks gets introduced to circles where talent is appreciated and rewarded. Many business opportunities, job offers, and life-changing partnerships are never advertised publicly. They happen through recommendations, referrals, and conversations. The more people know you, trust you, and respect you, the greater your chances of being included in those hidden opportunities. Networking is not limited to professional growth. It also strengthens personal resilience. In moments of difficulty, the support of a strong network can be the difference between giving up and moving forward. Mentors provide guidance when the path is unclear, peers provide encouragement when the journey is tough, and collaborators provide strength when the load feels heavy. Wealth is not only measured in financial assets, but also in the richness of relationships that sustain you in every season. One of the most powerful truths about relationships is that they multiply opportunities exponentially. When you help one person, you do not just gain their trust, you often gain access to their entire network. Each connection becomes a bridge to many others, creating a ripple effect. This is why generosity is such a powerful strategy in networking. When you focus on giving without expecting immediate returns, you build goodwill that often comes back in ways you could never predict. However, building valuable relationships requires character. Trust is the currency of networking, and without integrity, no relationship lasts. People may admire talent, but they only trust character. If you want to create long-term networks, be reliable, keep your word, respect others, and act with honesty. Reputation spreads faster than words, and in every field, it is reputation that determines whether people want to work with you or avoid you. Another essential aspect of networking is diversity. Limiting your relationships to people who think like you or come from the same background restricts your growth. True wealth is built by learning from different perspectives, cultures, and industries. When you connect with people outside your usual circle, you gain access to fresh ideas, creative solutions, and opportunities you would never have discovered alone. Diversity in relationships also prepares you to thrive in a globalized world, where success often depends on the ability to understand and collaborate across differences. Networking is not about quantity, it is about quality. Hundreds of shallow contacts cannot replace a handful of deep, meaningful relationships. It is better to have a few people who trust you enough to open doors for you than to have a long list of names who barely remember you. The key is consistency. Stay in touch, show genuine interest in others' growth, and nurture relationships over time. People remember how you make them feel, and that emotional connection creates loyalty stronger than any contract. In the journey of wealth creation, mentors and role models play a unique role. A mentor is someone who has already walked the path you wish to walk. Their guidance can save you years of mistakes, accelerate your learning, and keep you accountable to your goals. Many successful individuals attribute their growth to the influence of mentors who shared wisdom, encouragement, and direction at crucial stages of their journey. Seeking mentorship is not a sign of weakness. It is a sign of wisdom. It shows you value experience and are willing to learn from others instead of repeating avoidable errors. Collaboration is another outcome of strong networking. The most impactful businesses and projects are rarely the result of a single individual. They are born from collaboration. When people with different skills, ideas, and resources come together, they create something greater than the sum of its parts. Collaboration allows you to scale faster, reach wider, and achieve results you could never accomplish alone. Those who resist collaboration often limit their potential, while those who embrace it multiply their influence and impact. In building relationships, emotional intelligence becomes one of the most valuable skills. The ability to listen, to understand others' needs, to empathize, and to communicate effectively strengthens bonds. People are naturally drawn to those who make them feel heard and understood. Emotional intelligence transforms interactions from transactional exchanges into meaningful connections. When people feel valued, they remember you, trust you, and recommend you to others. In the digital age, networking has expanded beyond face-to-face interactions. Platforms like LinkedIn, professional communities, and social media provide unprecedented opportunities to connect globally. Yet the principle remains the same: authenticity and value come first. Merely adding names online without genuine engagement creates no real benefit. The most effective use of digital networking is to share knowledge, support others, and participate in meaningful discussions that establish credibility and trust. At the heart of all relationships lies reciprocity. Networking is not about asking, "What can I get?" but rather, "What can I give?" When you adopt a mindset of service, you naturally attract opportunities. People remember those who helped them when they had nothing to offer in return. Over time, that goodwill accumulates into a network of allies who are ready to support you when you need it most. This cycle of giving and receiving creates a sustainable ecosystem of growth for everyone involved. Relationships and networking also influence personal wealth by shaping mindset. The people you spend time with determine your perspective, habits, and standards. If you surround yourself with negative, stagnant individuals, you will unconsciously adopt their limitations. If you build relationships with ambitious, forward-thinking, solution-driven individuals, their energy and habits will elevate yours. Wealthy people are intentional about their networks. They know that environment shapes destiny. Ultimately, relationships are a form of wealth themselves. A rich life is not measured only in money, but also in the strength of bonds, the trust you share, and the impact you have on others. Money can create comfort, but relationships create legacy. When people remember you not only for your success, but also for how you treated them, you have built a kind of wealth that outlasts any financial fortune. The path to becoming valuable and wealthy is not a solo journey. It is a shared path where relationships act as bridges and networks act as maps. Skills may get you started, but relationships will take you further. Every conversation is a seed, every act of generosity is an investment, and every genuine connection is a door waiting to be opened. In the long run, the wealthiest people are those who learn that relationships are not just part of success. They are the very foundation of it. Resilience and perseverance are two qualities that separate those who dream from those who achieve. The journey to wealth, success, and fulfillment is never a straight path. It is a road filled with obstacles, detours, and moments of doubt that test not just your skills, but your spirit. Many people start strong, but few finish, not because they lacked opportunity or talent, but because they lacked the persistence to keep going when the road grew dark. If you want to become valuable and wealthy, you must learn how to endure setbacks, rise after failures, and continue forward when every reason tells you to stop. Failure is not the opposite of success, it is part of success. Every great accomplishment has a history of rejection, mistakes, and disappointments behind it. Those who achieve extraordinary results are not the ones who never failed. They are the ones who refuse to quit after failing. Each setback carried a lesson. Each rejection built strength, and each obstacle sharpened their determination. The difference between ordinary and extraordinary is not that one group avoids failure while the other embraces it. It is that extraordinary people see failure as a stepping stone, not a dead end. Resilience is the ability to bend without breaking, to withstand pressure without collapsing. Life will test you with financial struggles, broken partnerships, missed opportunities, and personal challenges. In those moments, resilience keeps you steady. It whispers that the storm is temporary, that this season is not the final chapter, and that perseverance will eventually lead you through. Without resilience, one failure can destroy you. With resilience, 1,000 failures cannot stop you. Perseverance, on the other hand, is the daily commitment to keep moving even when progress feels invisible. Building wealth and becoming valuable rarely happen overnight. It is the result of years of effort, consistency, and discipline. Perseverance means showing up when motivation fades, practicing when nobody is watching, and pushing forward when rewards are delayed. Success belongs to those who are willing to endure the long nights, the uncertain days, and the seasons when results seem far away. History is filled with examples of people who persevered through relentless challenges. Writers who faced countless rejections before their books became bestsellers. Inventors who failed hundreds of times before discovering the one formula that changed the world. Entrepreneurs who faced bankruptcy multiple times before building empires. What they all share in common is not luck, it is perseverance. They decided that quitting was not an option, and that mindset carried them to the heights others only dream about. Resilience and perseverance are not built in comfort. They are developed in the face of adversity. Challenges are like weights in a gym. They may feel heavy. They build strength. Every disappointment you overcome, every obstacle you face head on, every failure you rise from, it all develops the muscles of resilience. Over time, what once broke you will no longer shake you because you have trained your mind and spirit to stand tall. One of the greatest enemies of perseverance is the desire for instant gratification. Too many people give up because they do not see results quickly enough. They want wealth without the waiting, success without the struggle, rewards without the process. But growth does not work that way. A seed planted in the ground does not bear fruit overnight. It must be watered, protected, and given time to grow. The same is true of dreams. If you abandon them because they do not immediately produce results, you rob yourself of the harvest that persistence would have brought. To develop resilience and perseverance, you must first embrace a long-term vision. Short-term setbacks matter little when your eyes are fixed on a bigger future. People who quit often do so because they lose sight of their vision, allowing temporary pain to overshadow permanent purpose. When you keep the destination in mind, you can endure the difficulties of the journey. Purpose fuels perseverance. Another important factor is self-belief. Resilient people trust their ability to rise again. Even when they fall, they do not label themselves as failures. They see failure as an event, not an identity. They remind themselves that setbacks are temporary, character is permanent. Believing in yourself when the world doubts you is the essence of resilience. Wealth and value are not built on certainty. They are built on faith that if you keep moving, the way forward will eventually appear. Surrounding yourself with the right people also strengthens perseverance. No one is resilient in complete isolation. Supportive relationships, mentors, friends, family, or peers become anchors when life feels overwhelming. They remind you of your potential when you forget, and they encourage you to keep going when you want to stop. Just as negativity can drain perseverance, positivity can fuel it. Choose your environment wisely, because it directly affects your ability to endure. Practical habits also build perseverance. Discipline is one of the greatest tools for resilience. When you train yourself to stick to habits, whether it is waking up early, reading daily, exercising consistently, saving money, you strengthen the ability to persist in bigger challenges. Discipline in small things creates perseverance in big things. It trains your mind to act not based on emotion, but on commitment. Resilience is also strengthened by perspective. Instead of asking, "Why me?" during hardships, resilient people ask, "What can I learn from this?" They see every struggle as a teacher, every pain as preparation, and every obstacle as an opportunity in disguise. This perspective transforms suffering into growth, making resilience a natural response rather than a forced one. Wealth without resilience is fragile. Many people have gained fortunes only to lose them quickly because they could not handle setbacks, criticism, or change. On the other hand, a person with resilience can lose everything and still rebuild because they carry within themselves the strength to rise again. This is why resilience is often more valuable than wealth itself. It is the guarantee that no matter what happens, you cannot be permanently defeated. Perseverance ensures that dreams survive the test of time. Ideas may be brilliant, plans may be perfect, but without perseverance, they fade into nothingness. Perseverance turns vision into reality, effort into achievement, and persistence into wealth. It is the fuel that keeps the fire burning long after excitement dies down. It is the quality that makes the difference between those who almost succeeded and those who truly did. In every field, business, art, science, sports, the pattern is the same. The ones who succeed are rarely the most talented, but they are almost always the most persistent. Talent may open the first door, but perseverance keeps you moving through all the doors that follow. The world rewards persistence because persistence delivers results. Ultimately, resilience and perseverance are about refusing to give up on yourself, your vision, and your future. They are about rising every time you fall, learning from every mistake, and continuing no matter how slow the progress feels. If you want to become truly valuable and wealthy, do not focus only on avoiding failure. Focus on strengthening your ability to recover from it. Do not wish for an easy path. Wish for the strength to walk the hard one. The storms of life will come for everyone. Some will be destroyed by them, while others will use them as fuel to rise higher. The difference lies in resilience and perseverance. With these two qualities, nothing can permanently stop you. Without them, even the smallest obstacle can break you. Choose perseverance over excuses, resilience over surrender, and your journey to wealth will not just be possible, it will be inevitable. True wealth is not merely the accumulation of money, possessions, or titles. It is the ability to create lasting value by serving others, solving problems, and making a meaningful contribution to the world. The foundation of sustainable success lies in the principle of contribution. The more problems you solve, the more people you serve, the more valuable you become, and wealth naturally follows. Every product we use, every service we depend on, every innovation that shapes our lives exists because someone decided to create value for others. At the heart of contribution lies a simple truth. People reward those who improve their lives. If you can ease someone's burden, fulfill their need, or make their journey smoother, you instantly increase your value. The marketplace does not respond to desire. It responds to service. You may want wealth. Wealth flows toward the one who provides solutions. The bigger the problem you solve, the bigger the rewards you receive. This is why some individuals earn a little while others earn fortunes. It is not luck, the scale of problems they address and the depth of value they create. Contribution does not always begin with grand gestures. Often, it starts small, with listening, observing, and identifying what people around you truly need. The ability to notice gaps, inefficiencies, and struggles is the seed of innovation. Every great business began with a simple observation, a pain point that needed fixing. By focusing on service, by asking, how can I help? Rather than, what can I get? You begin aligning yourself with the flow of wealth. There is also a deeper fulfillment that comes with contribution. While money can provide comfort, it cannot provide meaning on its own. Serving others brings a sense of purpose that wealth alone cannot match. When you see how your efforts impact lives, when you realize that your skills, products, or actions made someone's journey easier, you experience a joy that fuels resilience and drives long-term commitment. This sense of purpose is what sustains people when challenges come. Wealth without contribution feels empty. Contribution creates a legacy that outlives financial gain. Contribution and service also build reputation. In every industry, people remember those who give more than they take. When you consistently deliver value, people trust you, respect you, and recommend you. This reputation becomes a form of social capital, opening doors that money alone cannot. Many opportunities in life are not purchased. They are earned through the goodwill created by serving others faithfully. Trust, once earned through contribution, becomes one of the most powerful forms of wealth. The principle of contribution applies not only to business, but also to personal growth. When you serve others, you expand your own skills, perspective, and creativity. Helping someone solve a problem forces you to think differently, to innovate, and to stretch your abilities. Contribution is not just about what others receive, it is also about what you gain in wisdom and strength. By focusing on others' growth, you accelerate your own. One of the greatest misconceptions about wealth is that it requires selfishness. In reality, the wealthiest people are often those who mastered generosity, not necessarily by giving away money, but by giving away value. They share knowledge. They build systems that empower others. They create platforms for people to thrive. In serving, they create an ecosystem that grows bigger than themselves, and wealth follows naturally as a byproduct. Contribution also magnifies wealth through scale. Serving one person creates value. Serving thousands or millions multiplies that value. Technology, media, and networks today allow one idea, one solution, to impact countless lives across the globe. Those who learn to leverage scale in their contribution, whether through digital platforms, products, or services, find themselves at the center of extraordinary wealth creation. The question is not just how much you can give, how many people you can reach with what you give. Another important truth is that contribution requires empathy. To serve others effectively, you must first understand them. Listening, observing, and placing yourself in another person's shoes allows you to identify their real challenges. Too many people fail because they create solutions for problems no one actually has. Empathy ensures that your contributions are meaningful and relevant. It transforms your work from being about what you want to offer to what others truly need. Contribution also brings resilience in uncertain times. Markets may crash, industries may shift, but those who serve others will always remain relevant. Needs never disappear, they simply evolve. As long as you are committed to meeting those needs, you will always find a way to thrive. Contribution ensures longevity because people never stop rewarding those who make their lives better. It is also worth noting that contribution is not limited to money or products. Sometimes the greatest service you can give is your time, your knowledge, or your encouragement. Mentorship, teaching, guiding, simply offering support can transform lives in ways more valuable than financial help. These intangible forms of contribution often create loyalty, gratitude, and opportunities that money cannot buy. The act of serving is powerful regardless of the form it takes. Wealth built on contribution carries stability because it is rooted in trust and value. Quick riches gained without serving others often fade. Wealth tied to genuine value endures. The world may change, competitors may arise, but no one can erase the impact of someone who consistently gives. When your work, your skills, and your legacy are tied to service, you become irreplaceable. Practical steps to cultivate contribution begin with asking yourself daily, what problems can I solve? Who can I help? What value can I add today? Train your mind to look for opportunities to serve in every environment. Sharpen your skills, not just for personal gain, but to increase your capacity to help others. Approach business not as a way to extract, but as a way to enrich. Shift from a mindset of scarcity to one of abundance, realizing that serving others does not reduce your success, it multiplies it. Contribution also requires consistency. One act of service can create a moment of impact, but consistent service creates a reputation of reliability. People must know that they can count on you repeatedly, not occasionally. Consistency builds trust, and trust builds wealth. Ultimately, contribution and service transform the meaning of wealth itself. Money becomes not the end goal, but a tool to expand your impact. Every product you create, every problem you solve, every life you touch becomes part of a legacy that cannot be measured by bank accounts alone. Wealth becomes more than numbers. It becomes influence, trust, respect, and fulfillment. The truth is simply wealth follows value, and value flows from service. If you want to become more valuable, find ways to serve more. If you want to become wealthier, find ways to solve bigger problems for more people. Contribution is not just a principle of success, it is the foundation of significance. Because in the end, people may forget what you earned, but they will never forget how you served.